Hi, welcome to a new video dedicated to a new radio transmitter, and I will say this is probably one of the best radio command available in the market actually. This is a new model of the FrSky. This is the Taranis Q7S. So it's not the ultimate deluxe edition of the FrSky radio like the Ornus X10 here. It's more, I would say, the third or fourth revision of the super popular model started with this, the X9D, for example. So what we have in hand, we have a super radio with ton of switches, and now comes directly with OpenTX OS operating system directly installed. You have many features. For example, you have voice alert, full telemetry information. Now you can connect to a trainer software via a wireless connection, and many other stuff available. You can, for example, add a third-party RF module, for example the Orange X1, to enjoy many other protocol supports. So let's discover this great radio on the papers. Let's go. So inside you can find this super nice transportation bag, high quality one, so it starts well. So I will open it, and what we will see inside is obviously the radio. So one novelty of the X7S is concerning the gimbals. You have some new M7 Hall effect sensor gimbal, and they offer ultra high resolution, super precise. I will start first with accessories. So we have a head strap, FrSky of course branded, a small charger to recharge the internal NEMH battery provided, and you have also a European socket adapter in the extra packaging offered by Banggood. And here you have the instruction manual, pretty basic, and a full set of stickers, so with FrSky everywhere, so with some ACC/ST technologies referenced everywhere. So basically this radio will obviously support all FrSky receiver. We have at least three main branch. I will say the D81, the D16, and also the L12 for super long range. Now most of the receivers shift from the D8 to the D16, mainly in S-Bus, and so 16 channels supported, and with the same aspect of range, I would say. So what we have, wow, it's super compact, and let's have immediately a look in comparison size with the jumper. I'm a guy coming from a Deviation TX community, and I will say the Taranis is like people preferring iPhone versus Android phone. I will compare the FrSky radio like an iPhone, super deluxe product, super well polished, where everything is here. It's feeling a super high quality product, versus, for example, my last new toys. This is the jumper radio supporting the multi-module and open and Deviation TX. So it's more, I would say, for geeks. This one with much more cheaper. We have something about $80 versus $200, and both, if this one is connected to the external module and this one got already built-in one, will support the same amount of radio protocol. So what we have, it's a super big and heavy, because coming with here we have, it's a little bit hard to remove, but we have a full set of NEMH battery. We have a 2000 LiPo, NEMH battery, so directly you need to recharge them, so no problem. You have a power connector, and you have to use the power unit in the bundle. So I will start maybe with a port. So we have here, just need to open it. We have a micro SD card slot to, for example, import or export your profile. you have a built-in 60 config file store in the machine, but if you want, you can save many more on a micro SD card slot. You have a USB, it's a mini USB to be more precise, where you can update the firmware and copy and some stuff like this. And here you have a serial port, okay, so for some connection. On top, you have some also some headphones for example, if you want to plug your audio cask, okay, for the voice alarm, for example. And here you have probably also another jack for wide trainer port. Okay, so but I remind that this one now offers the possibility to connect to your trainer software via wireless solutions. That's great. So let's discover a little bit. I explained the gimbal. I'm really impressed by the quality of the gimbal, super precise compared to the jumper, looks like much cheaper. Okay, just to know, for information, in a couple of weeks, the jumper version with some M7 Hall sensor gimbal will be available. So either you can buy just the gimbal standalone and install on them, or you will have a new revision of the jumper. Okay, now I return to the Taranis. We have, okay, this antenna here 2.4. I'm not sure you can unplug it. Okay, so no possibility, for example, to attach, I don't know, if you want to cloverleaf 2.4 units, you cannot out of the box. Probably you can do it by modding, but let's start with a switch. One short three-way switch, one long three-way switch. Here we have another long three-way switch and another short one. Okay, so it's symmetric with this axis. Two pots, and they are one, you can feel the central position, you have a kind of small click, okay, and this one is not, okay, so can be used, for example, to control a gimbal or for a PTZ, for example. On the shoulder, what we have a two-way, long two-way, and here it's a return to this switch returning to this nominal position, okay, so a kind of trigger. On the back side, we have, I showed battery tray, so, and you have also, as many FrSky, this bay, where you can, for example, install the Orange X external RF module, okay, where you can have the three-in-one, you can have the CC1500, you can have the CF6936 for Spectrum protocol. The CC2500 is obviously including in the Taranis because it's supporting this one. You have the NRF24, the one, and the last one is the for FrSky protocol, the A7105. Okay, so you can plug through this four connector here, and the same, okay, the same pins can be used to, for example, flash a firmware of a FrSky receiver. For example, if you want to enjoy full telemetry of FrSky XM Plus, you can use these 4 pins, for 3 of them only, because it's another serial port, to flash. Notice that for FrSky, in general, an FDDI device is not working out of the box because you need to inverse some logical states. Okay, so with a real FDDI module, you can play with the mprog software to tune this option, but here, thanks to this specific FrSky serial port, you can plug directly the 3 wires of your XM Plus receiver, for example, and flash it with the new firmware to enjoy RSSI and full telemetry, for example, if it's not the case. So you have, I can't remember where is the power unit where you can charge it, but should be around, okay. But anyway, it's not super important. It's probably one of the two here or somewhere. But here we have the speaker for all the voice alarm, etc. So that's great. It's classic. It was already introduced many years ago with the first Taranis X9. Okay, but you have this some trim, digital trim button, okay, and the central power button where you will have to long press to boot the machine, and the OpenTX logo is appearing with FrSky. So, okay, they say to push all the switches and sticks in their nominal position. Warning, failsafe is not done. So, anyway, so I'm not a super specialist of PentaX. As I said, I'm more Deviation TX gurus. Anyway, I really enjoy. I spent some time on it, and I really enjoy this operating system. Very complete. Okay, it's absolutely not a downgraded version versus the Deviation TX. I would say is even the opposite. You have many more other options available via OpenTX. That's great. So when it's done, you can select a model by pressing this central here, where you can with the wheel here select. Okay, so to the left to decrease, and to turn to the right to increase the value, whatever. So you can press the central button to select this model. Okay, and then when it's done, you have a small asterisk on the left side column to say that this is the current model selected. So I'll try to play a bit. I already rename it, but by default the name is model followed by the prefix 0, the number of the model file. So when it's done, you can press the page button, okay, to cycle between the 12 page available for each config file. Okay, so I won't really explain in detail the OpenTX, because there is many other videos done by other much better that I will explain. But in the main instance, I will try to explain at least the second one, probably the most important in terms of setup, and the RF module, where you can change the name, install some timer. You have different timer, 1, 2, 3 possible timer different. Okay, that's great. You can of course put a voice alarm, a buzzer alarm, or vibration. It's really great. So the main important, I would say, is about down. So you can select, for example, some warning on the config file that all the switch should be in up position, some stuff like this. Okay, and I would say the most important is concerning here. So by default, you have only one RF module for to play to bind any FrSky receiver. So this is the CC1500. So this is the internal, and if you want to buy the D16, just press like this, and you can either turn off, on. Okay, the 8, 16, 8, and the last one is the long range 12 for 12 channels. So 3 are available plus the 4th, which is off. So by default, for example, if you need to select the D16, select it, okay, and then you just need to press bind here to bind, and if you need a specific, for example, fixed IDs, just enter here to do it. Okay, so failsafe is not set, so you can also assign one of the 4 behavior of the failsafe associated with radio. If you have the external radio, you can turn on it, okay, as well, and of course turn off the internal, because no need to have 2 modules running simultaneously in order to save your batteries. That's really great. And here the trainer mode, I guess you can select either the slave BT for Bluetooth, I guess. So this is a wireless. Okay, so by default you have a slave jack, master jack. So probably one of these 2 here is controlling the trainer mode, and as you can see, master, slave, and as well master Bluetooth and slave Bluetooth. Okay, so I will keep in with the default behavior. So that's one of the novelty of the X7S. Okay, so it's really great, and you have other model. For the 3rd page is more associated with for helicopter, where you can configure the swatch and so on, etc. So you have many in terms of collective. The 4 is associated with the flight mode. Okay, so I'm not a great specialist, but I guess you can tune everything, and you have the input. What is great is you can reassign for example, the behavior of the channel. So you have the true input of the radio. It's by default, it's TRER. Okay, if you need another real channel, you can flash a new firmware of Taranis. Okay, and but whatever in the by software, you can assign, for example, that the throttle, the physical throttle channel, is assigned to the virtual throttle channel, so there is a direct mapping. Okay, but if you need, for example, another channel mapping, starting with the aileron, rudder, throttle, and aim, for example, you can say that the throttle reel is, for example, assigned to the aileron, and so on. So you have software mapping, but as I said previously, you can encode it in hardly by flashing a new firmware if you're not happy with this one. Okay, so but you have many pages, you have the mixer and so on and so on. Okay, so I want to explain, you have some logical switch, etc., and the RSSI with some logarithmic values, etc., etc. You will warn, you will have the voice alarm, etc. So that's definitively a great point. So I'm really impressed by this radio, but for me, there is one unique drawback, which is the weight. It's super heavy. So, okay, so I will give you the information of the weight. Okay, standalone, and this radio is 798 grams, almost 800 grams. If I can compare to the jumper, it's 2 times more lighter. And I got the LiPo inside, okay, so it's not a problem on LiPo. Of course, you will say that it's much more easy to grab. It's true, you can really grab it very easily, it's no problem, but it's heavy, so the neck strap is a must-have. The screen also is much better. It's a 128 by 64. I would say it's more or less the same for the jumper, but it's more tiny in terms of dimension. And okay, so what to conclude, it's a highly recommended radio. Really amazing. The number of the switch are really great. No more problem. For example, that from former X9 got some problem with the switch in terms of they can be disassembled by accident, okay, in the field. Here it's really great. You can grab it, you can for example attach an FPV monitor, is not a problem. You can connect to a trainer port by a physical wire or by wireless, by Bluetooth. It's not a big problem. The gimbal are just great. I wanted to show you the test, okay, in the main pages. You can have the information, okay, of the NOCT, okay, like this, the state, the current state, okay, the central bottom position of the switch A, like this. So everything is monitored. You have the battery indication, that's really great, and the trim button, okay, you can see that you are centered or not, is really working efficiently. I really like. So I recommended radio. It's a deluxe product for sure. It's your companion. Associated with, you must buy the third-party iRange X or another similar in terms of characteristics. In this case, you will be able to enjoy, I don't know exactly, 200, 300 different hacked protocol, okay? Most of them coming from the Deviation TX. I want to thanks this community who some user managed to hack most of the protocol and then implemented in the third-party module, okay, for such kind of radio. So, highly recommended radio, okay, maybe the unique drawback is the weight. It's super heavy, and maybe the not possibility to detach the RF antenna like this. The autonomy is just great. You can spend 3-4 hours of flight without any problem. The battery is very got a huge capacity, 2000 mAh is a lot. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this new new video dedicated to the FrSky X7S radio. Definitely a very good product from FrSky. In general, they are never disappointing people. Okay, see you next time. Bye bye.